This is Stampy, and welcome back to How to Minecraft. In this series, I am going to be talking through the basics of how to play Minecraft. So if you already know, you might find these videos a little bit boring, but don't worry, they won't be replacing any of my other videos. And if you don't yet know how to play Minecraft, this should be very useful to you. And so in the past few episodes, I told you how to survive your first night. I told you how to just survive in general, how to get food and how to not get killed by the googlies. And I've also taught you how to mine and craft. And bear in mind, there's a lot of things that I haven't told you yet, but I want you to either experience them for yourselves, or there's just simply too much for me to say in these videos. And so you're going to have to learn some of the things yourself. But today, I want to talk about building. And whenever I start a new world, the first thing I do is take out all of the creepers. Boom! There we go. Yeah, the first thing I do is build a small little temporary house, just like this one, or like a little hut. But there will come a time when you want something a little bit nicer. And then you need to think about building your first proper house that you're going to be proud of and show off, and actually think about what it's going to look like, rather than just having something that's going to stop you from getting killed every 5 seconds. So before you go and just start building, you really want to think hard about where to build. You want to pick a good location. So what I recommend doing is roaming the land for a while, until you either find a place that looks like it was just big enough for a house, or just something that you think looks really pretty. For example, you might want to live under the ground. You might want to live on the top of a mountain and have amazing views. You might want to live somewhere snowy. You might want to live in a jungle. You might want to live near a waterfall. So look around and find terrain that you like. What I recommend doing for your first house is finding somewhere flat. And here is actually very convenient, because what you're going to end up doing is building a house which is going to at first be very small, and then eventually you're going to want to make it bigger. And if you're living right next to a big mountain, you're going to have to get rid of the mountain, and you're going to spend all of your time terraforming. So whenever I'm looking for a good place to build a house, I'm normally looking for either just something that looks cool or a nice big flat area like this. And so once you've decided your area, I think I want to build here, you want to prepare the land, you want to make it flat so you can start building, and unless you want to build on a hill, it's up to you. So you either want to start filling in any gaps or digging away any hills. Also, any trees or anything, it's worth getting rid of them. So remember, cut them down with an axe, and then once all the wood is gone, the leaves will start gradually disappearing. And so I now know I want to build here, I have plenty of room, I now need to think about what materials do I want to build out of. And there are many options. The two most popular things, especially when you're starting out, is building out of wood and stone. Because we went on a massive mining trip, I have loads and loads of cobblestone. And so if I run back to my house, I can actually put that in the furnace and it will smelt it to make it into smooth stone. And I can then make the smooth stone into stone bricks, which looks quite nice. And another big thing that people build out of is wood. And wood's good because every block of wood you cut down, you get 3 wooden planks. And there's quite a good variety of different types of wood as well. So that's always a very popular material. So I'm going to put a whole stack of cobblestone smelting in here. And I am also going to put some sand in here as well. And when you smelt sand, it makes it into glass. And you can make glass into glass panes, which makes it very effective for windows. So what I recommend doing before going gun-ho into just placing blocks and building, really spend some time thinking about what you want your house to look like. Think about the materials. What I even sometimes do is actually draw it. I actually draw like a blueprint of my house. Because you're going to be building out of blocks, you could maybe use lined paper and very easily start working out what you want your house to look like. But if you don't want to do that, don't worry, that is not necessary. It's more when you get a little bit more advanced, you want to start thinking more in depth. So I'm going to build my house out of wood. I'm going to build a nice wooden hut. And there's also a few different choices I have even when I'm building out of wood. I could, if I wanted, build out of wood blocks. And if I place a wood block like this, you can see it looks just like a tree. But if I place it on the side of the block, it will go horizontal like a log. I could also do it out of planks. I can make the wood into planks, and this way I get 4 planks for every normal block, and it will look like this. Also, there are different types of wood that comes from different trees. All of this wood has come from oak trees, but I also got a few other saplings that I gathered before the video for different types of trees. For example, this is a birch sapling, and if I grow this, I think I can make some bone meal here. This is going to make a birch tree, and as you will see, it's got a very different type of wood, and also makes a different type of wooden plank. It makes a much paler blue. There's also spruce saplings, and these make spruce trees, and these are very dark, and These ones are normally found in snowy areas. You normally get these. Birch are all over the place, but they're not quite as common as oak. And then there are also jungle saplings as well, and this is a jungle sapling here, and these normally make much bigger trees. If you put 4 of them together, it would make a huge tree, and these are of course found in jungles, and there is a jungle literally just over there, which is how I got this sapling. And this once again has a different type of wood and makes a different type of plank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use a combination of all of them, but I also want to make sure that I actually completely get rid of it all. And so I'm just going to pile up with a little bit of dirt and just go and gather that last block. But because there's more of it around the place, I think I'm going to build most of it out of oak planks, because that's probably the easiest thing to get straight away, because I have quite a lot of it all over the place. So let's start placing some walls then. It's going to be just me living in it, so I'm going to have quite a small, modest house to begin with. So let me go and get rid of these 2 blocks, and go and make all of this wood into wooden planks. And you can see that I've already got over a stack. And when I say a stack, by the way, that's most items stacked to 64, and so when you have a stack, that means you have 64 of an item, and then if I got any more, it would have to start a new stack. And so let me go and just start building the bottom of my house. As I said, it's going to be very simple. I'm going to build it out to about here, and then go back in this way and got rid of all of the mushrooms there and start building in this direction. And when you're building very small on the ground, it's very simple. So as I said, all you do is you look onto the edge of another block, you see the little black outline, then you press the left trigger and then the block will be placed. You can't just place blocks in the midair. You can't just place them floating. They need to be placed against another block, which means when you're building up high, you often have to be doing scaffolding. And so at the moment, because I can just build up, I can just go and do it gradually like this. But say if I wanted to build just up something that was really high in the sky, or if I wanted to build under another block, I'd have to start building scaffolding. And by scaffolding, I basically mean using any other block to try and pile up, and then you might build along a little bit just so you can reach hard to reach places. So whenever building, or just in general, it's always good to have a stack of dirt with you. But another useful tip when doing scaffolding is if you're building straight up, is actually using sand. You may remember that I told you that some blocks have gravity, and that is gravel and sand mainly, as well as a few other items like TNT, and I think there might be a few more on PC. But these are the main, most common items that have gravity. And what you can actually do is if I go and pile up a lot of this sand, there's a very quick and easy way of getting rid of it. So say if I wanted to pile up very high because I wanted to build something, I'd stack up my sand like this, and I'm going to go really, really high with this. I'm going to use all of this sand up, and then I wanted to get down very quickly. I could go and jump into the water, and then that wouldn't hurt me. And if I want to now get rid of this sand very quickly, I could just use my shovel and go and break it all down. But another way is using a torch. If I break away the bottom block and then put a torch there instead, come and have a see what happens. If I break it and then place the torch, you can see that they all fall down, then they all get destroyed and just put into nice little blocks. So that's a very easy way of getting rid of lots of an item. So if you have to build up very high and you're stacking up, I recommend doing it out of sand rather than out of dirt or something else. But anyway, it's starting to get night and I haven't built very much, so I am going to have to go and sleep in my old house for now, which is good because I can go and gather up my stone as well. But first I'm just going to go and cut down 1 or 2 more trees so I can have the wood in the morning, and then I want to go and plant my saplings. And it's always a good idea, by the way, to have a regular place where you're growing your trees. There are some fancy methods you can use for setting up tree farms. You probably don't need to worry about them for too early on, but you want to make sure you've got a nice area where you're constantly regrowing your trees so you don't run out. So let me go and put down a few more of these saplings, and then these should hopefully start growing, and I might get some more of them tomorrow. And there's a few more saplings down here, a few more jungle ones in case I want to get some jungle wood. But for now, I'm going to go and run back into my house, and now I'm going to go to sleep. And something else that you want to think about when building is that you don't want everything to look the same. And by that, I mean it's very easy to end up building everything a big cube, a big box. And that's kind of what I've done so far. But you can actually get really interesting with the way that you build. Even though you're building only out of blocks, everything you build doesn't have to look like a block. And I'm going to show you a few ways how you can make things look a little bit less like big cubes in the future in a second. So first thing, Let me go and grab my smooth stone. Looks like I ran out of coal, so I'm going to have to put a little bit more in there to keep the rest going. And I also got my glass from in here. And I might go and put a... Actually, this should be enough glass. I'm going to actually show you another thing you can build out of, which is something called sandstone. If you get 4 pieces of sand, you can actually make a sandstone block. And sandstone you can actually gather up anyway, and you normally find it under a few layers of sand. But I'm also going to get this smooth stone and turn them into stone bricks. And so once again, it's 4 pieces of smooth stone makes 4 stone bricks as well. And you can see they just look a little bit nicer than normal cobblestone, but don't feel worried about building out of things like cobblestone and dirt when you start off. As long as you've got a safe house for the beginning, then you're okay. And then you can start thinking about doing some decoration. So it's time now to really get a move on and start building as quick as I can to try and get this house done. So I think I'm going to do a very simple design. I'm going to keep it oak blocks for the first 3 rows, and then I might do maybe 1 row of a different type of wood. I don't really have much of it, so I can't go too crazy, but I want to add a little bit of variety. And you can always just build a very simple house and then just keep adding to it and changing it and making it more exciting, I guess. So let me do some jungle wood then, shall we? Let me go and make some jungle wood planks. That way I should have enough. So I've got 20 of these. I'll do jungle wood along the front and the back, and then maybe a different type of wood along the side, just so then that way I hopefully won't run out. So I do these along to here. You can see they kind of look like they're a bit ready, kind of look like they've had jam spread all over them. And I got some spruce wood down here. So let me make this into spruce planks. I got 32 of them, which should be enough for me to build along here. So this is a bit of a weird, not particularly elegant design, but it looks okay. At least it doesn't just look like one big wooden box. At least it has a bit of variety to it. And then I'm going to hop down here, and I'm going to start doing the floor. And I think I'm going to do the floor out of stone bricks. So I'm just going to use my shovel because I'm getting rid of dirt. I want to make sure I'm using a shovel, and I can dig this all away and then just put down my stone bricks. And then it's going to be time to think about, well, falling down caves. Time to start thinking about doing a little bit more decoration. And I'm going to show you a few of the techniques that I said about to make it so it doesn't look like one big massive cube. But I forgot about the fact that I kind of covered up a big pit here. But this might make things a little bit easier. Because that way, if I wanted to build a basement, then that way I could easily go and build underneath. So you do want to make sure that you have plenty of room underneath and to the sides of your house, and also above in case you want to extend. And the first thing I always want to build, because you want to have lots of different rooms, you normally want to have a bedroom, but the most important thing I always think is having a storage room. You've probably already noticed it just from this Let's Play, but I have lots of materials already. I have stacks of all these things on me, and it's all getting a little bit messy, and I have one little chest which is full of everything in my house, and it really doesn't do. It's really not enough. So what I really strongly recommend doing is the first thing you want to build is build a storage room. And so you basically want to have a room full of all different chests, and then you want to use signs, and you make signs by using wood and planks. And let me just show you how you make one. So yeah, you make one here in decorations, and then you can place it, and then you can write whatever you want on the sign. I'm going to write sign because I'm unimaginative. And then you could say maybe write cobblestone or dirt or wood, and then that way you can easily store everything in different chests. And it might seem a bit boring and laborious at first, but trust me, when you're looking through all of your chests to try and find one particular item, you are going to find it very useful. Right, so let me run back here and grab the rest of this stone that I need. And was there anything in this one? No, there wasn't. And is there anything I need from this chest? Actually, I might steal a little bit of this lapis. I'm going to get rid of a bit more of this stone and this sand and some other things I don't need. I don't need this dirt on me. And let me go and grab this lapis, which might come in useful. And apart from that, I think I should be good. Let me put this wheat away as well and a bit more sand. See what I'm talking about? See how full my pockets are getting already? That is because I don't have a proper storeroom yet, but this should be okay. Let's leave everything else there, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish off doing the floor. And another block which I haven't really mentioned yet, or haven't spoke much about, is shears and wool. And you can see if I make myself some shears, it's just in tools. You don't need a crafting table to make it. If I go to a sheep, I can actually shear it, and I can get wool from it without killing it. And this is very, very useful, because not only do you get more wool, the sheep is going to carry around carry on walking without its wool, but then if it eats some grass, its wool is going to grow back, which is useful for getting lots of white wool. But something else you can also do is dye the sheep. So remember I told you about lapis in the last episode, or the episode before, and how you can use it to dye sheeps? If I go to this sheep here, I can dye it and then shear it, and then I get some blue wool. it's then going to eat the grass so I can shear it again and get some more blue wool. And there's all sorts of different dyes you could use. You can use bone meal to dye them white if they're not already. You can use red or yellow flowers to dye them colours. You can get a cactus and smelt it to do green. And there's all sorts of different colours that you can use. So if you want a colourful building, the best thing to build it out of is wool. And it might sound a bit crazy building a structure out of wool, but it doesn't matter. It's not like wool is any weaker than stone. That's not really an issue. I mean, if it gets blown up by a creeper, it's a little bit weaker, but it's not going to fall over in the wind. The only thing you really have to worry about is fire, but having it set on fire is pretty rare and something that you don't have to worry too much about. And why did I just make another crafting table? I didn't mean to do that. What I meant to do was to make all of the rest of my stone into some more stone here, and then I can do the rest of my floor, and then I can think about starting to do some decorating. So already this is starting to look like a proper home. This doesn't look like something I'm just building to survive. It's got a little bit of style to it, and I'm going to go and add in a few more windows. As I said, you can turn the glass and make them into proper window panes, but another thing which is just as good is to get the glass and plonk it just straight down as it is. But bear in mind, if I went to try and break the glass now to pick it back up, it would smash and I would lose it. So you want to be careful that you place the glass in the right place where you definitely want it. And now I'm going to show you a cool way of doing a roof. You know, I mentioned about using things to make things not look like blocks. You can actually make things into half slabs as well as stairs. And so this is a half slab. It's literally half of a block. And so I could then place another one on top, and then it makes a full block. But I could do something like this, and then like that. And suddenly I'm building something that doesn't look so much like a block. I'm adding some more design to it, and it's a little messy nothingness, but it looks cool. Like, it looks like it's not just a cube. And then I could maybe add a staircase, and then I've made I don't know. Looks like a boot surfing or something. I don't know what that is, but you can see how you can start getting creative and combining half slabs and stairs to make all sorts of interesting things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all of my wooden planks into stairs, and I'm actually going to build the roof out of stairs. And I do need to gather up a little bit more wood from this tree here. And then I'm going to use stairs to make my roof look pointed. And then that way it's not going to be a big block. It's going to look a little bit more like a real house. And my pockets are really getting very full here. So let's start throwing away some. Actually, I want to keep the bone meal. Let's throw away this blue wool and a bit of dirt. And I don't really need the sign, and that's too many oak saplings. So there we go. Let's throw away all of these things, and let me go and try and make some more wooden planks. Are there any more oak trees around here? As I said, oak trees are the most common tree, so that's normally what most people are building out of very early on. And then on the inside, that's when you've got to start getting creative, trying to make up things. There's no real furniture. You're never going to be able to craft a table or a chair, but you can craft stairs and put signs on the end to make it look like a chair, or you can arrange blocks to make it look like a table. So that's really where the creativity comes in. But for now, in this episode at least, we're mainly going to focus on the outside of the house, and then in the next episode I'm going to go more in depth in those types of things to try and give you some inspiration of how you can use different blocks to try and make different cool things. So let me go back to my crafting table and make the rest of these into some more stairs, and then I'm just going to use the dirt that I kept at hand, and I'm going to make a little makeshift staircase so I can go up here, and then I can go and start building my roof. So the way stairs work is that they'll be facing whichever way you're facing. So if I face this way, you see the stairs are then going to be faced that way. You can also do upside down stairs. So if I had a block above me and I placed the stairs on that block, the stairs would be upside down. So you could add maybe a more interesting ceiling, and there's literally endless possibilities for the things that you can use these few different types of blocks out of. And what I would recommend doing if you are trying to get serious in terms of building and want to make things look really cool is actually loading up the world in creative at first, and then building things in creative. Just to give you an idea of all of the different blocks. Because in creative you have all of the blocks at hand anyway. You can just look through the menu and just see all of the possibilities of what you can build out of. And then when you come back to survival, you can just go and start working out how to gather them and then building out of them. So I'm going to do stairs along this way like this. Then I'm going to go and do the same on the other side. Then I'm just going to let them all meet up in the middle. And I am running out of blocks here. So this is probably going to look a little bit like a mess, but it doesn't matter. I'm just sort of giving you an idea of some of the different materials you could build out of. And I could do this out of sandstone. I could do sandstone stairs rather than wooden stairs. I could even do stone stairs if I wanted to. There's so many different possibilities. So what shall I do at the top along here? I might go and what other blocks do I have a lot of? Not much, to be honest, not much. I mean, I could just use cobblestone, but that's a little bit boring. Let's go and cut down some more of these trees then. Let's go and get a few more of these jungle trees, and let's go and try and build the rest out of that. And then I can go back to my old house and gather up all of those things and think about starting to move them across into my brand new home. And it looks like my axe just broke, but that's no problem. I've got plenty of iron left, so I might actually go and give myself a bit of an upgrade and make myself an iron axe. I also want to start putting some torches around because it's going to get a little bit dangerous now because it's night and I've not lit up the area very much. We will be having some googlies showing up at some point, but hopefully I'm going to be able to deal with them without them blowing up my brand new house that I was just able to build. So let me go and cut down a few more of these. And as I said, every single wood block can be turned into 4 wooden planks, so I can get quite a lot of jungle wood planks out of these, and there should be enough to finish off the rest of my roof. So let me go and hop up here and climb up my little staircase. I think I need to pile up a little bit here as well. And let's just try and make all of this link up then, shall we? If I just go and build all of this in. And so as I said, this is a bit of a weird random design. I probably wouldn't normally build it out of these materials in this way, but it's just quite a fun exercise just to show you an example of some of the things that you could build. And I could decide to add a balcony or a porch or something. Something that's always quite fun is trying to build your own house and trying to use the different materials they have in Minecraft to try and build things that you have in your own home. And I'm just going to put a few torches up here so we shouldn't have any googlies spawning on the roof. I'm going to go and get rid of my little makeshift staircase. Do I have a shovel? I do, so I'm going to use that to get rid of the dirt. Then of course use my axe to get rid of the piece of wood. And I think this should be the outside of my house completely done. I want to go and add another door in, just like I did when I built my old house. I'm going to go and make myself a nice wooden door. And I'm going to go and plonk that down on the front right here. And here we go. Here's my home in all of its glory. Let's go and put a few torches up just so we can see what's in the inside. And I've done it. I've managed to build my first house in pretty much just 2 days in Minecraft. That's how quickly I was able to build this. And you can imagine if you had all of your materials already gathered and you'd been mining a lot and all of the materials were just at hand, how quickly you could end up building something just like this. So, as I said, in the next episode, I'm going to talk about how I might go about trying to decorate the inside so all of my rooms just aren't these big empty places. And I'll also just give you some ideas of things that you might want to just build in general in the future, just in case you're playing Minecraft and you have no idea what to do. But sadly, that is the end of this episode here. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye!